In 1967, I would say was my golden years. I won probably more tournaments that year than any other. Bruce Lee had started making his movies, and people had been asking his promoters, how good is this guy for real? Oh, he's good for real. Yeah, he can keep up with any of them champions. Well, why don't you have him compete? Oh, well, now we may put on a demonstration sometime. The guys, you say, well, if he's that darn good, why don't he get out there and compete? He's doing these movies with these nunchucks and whatnot. Why don't he get in the kata competition, the weapon competition? Oh, well, we will eventually, maybe one day. And they kept getting pressured that eventually at Ed Parker's tournament, the Internationals out in California, Ed Parker said that Bruce Lee challenged any of us national champions to a speed match. That he's so fast that he got a punch that he could come in and hit you and out and you won't even be able to touch it. Well, all these champions out there in California, they were just laughing at him, snickering. You know, well, who's he? He's no champion. He's a movie star. He ain't a karate champ. Ed Parker, who runs the Internationals every year, he said, Bob, talking to Master Robert E. Trias, I believe he might just be that fast. Ain't nobody take him up on his offer. Master Trias said, I got 3 guys here. I know either one of them can take him. He said, my show ain't karate. One of the fastest there is. Master Trias looked down at me. I was sitting on the end. He said, Victor, get up there. Boy, I jumped and ran on up there because when your instructor speaks, you better get to moving. Bruce Lee got back. He says, oh, we got a volunteer. Give him a hand. I'm going to back up 4 steps here, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to tag you in the chest, and you won't be able to touch it. And I looked at him and I smiled. I said, you say what? You know, to the crowd, and everybody started laughing. I said, now I'm going to have to see this. He says, you ready? He come in, boy, just as fast with a lightning speedy punch. I done seen his eye flinch. I saw his ear move. I said, here he comes. He's coming in on the right side. Now, when I was a kid growing up, we had to ride the back of the bus. Black folks wasn't allowed to sit up front or in the middle of the bus. You had to go all the way to the back. I used to sit in the back of the bus, and I watched these folks come in. And I watched these white folks, and I used to play this game. I had a contest to see if they was going to sit on the left or the right. Was they going to reach for the rail with their left hand or the right hand? And I would watch their face expression, their body expression. Their eyes would move, their ears would move, their nose would move. They would take an inhale, they would breathe. The eyes would lead them to what they were going to do first and all. And I studied. So when I started competing, I could tell what a person was going to do because I had read so many body language from a young boy all the way up till I was a grown man, you know. That's how I knew when Chuck Norris was getting ready to do his spinning back kick. That's how I knew when Joe Louis was going to throw his powerful side kick. Now here's a guy going to stand back 4 feet away from me and going to come in and going to punch me in the chest, and I'm not going to be able to touch it. Well, he comes in for his punch, and he punched up my chest, and my hands are down to my side, and I blocked it with a Nagashi Yukasa palm heel block. Bam! I blocked it. Ooh, the crowd so hard with Bruce Lee was a little embarrassed, you know. He was shocked. He said, well, let's try it again, you know. I said, okay. He said, you ready? I said, yeah. Well, I knew he's coming in even faster this time because I'm looking at him. Here he comes. I see his movement. He done telegraphed. He comes in just as lightning speed, even faster, to punch me in the chest, and I blocked it. Bam! Bruce Lee reached out and tapped me on my right arm, and he said, boy, you're fast. You're the fastest American I ever seen. He said, we'll try it again. He don't ask me if I'm ready this time. And there was so much noise up in the audience, I just kind of glanced off with my eyes. He threw a backhand strike at my head, 2.5 feet away. When my eyes glanced back, I just kind of swung at his hand like he, and I started laughing at him. And I pointed, I say, here you are striking to the head. You're supposed to be punching to the chest. You're supposed to be throwing a punch that's so fast. And here you are trying to sneak one at the head. And doing that when I wasn't even looking. And I'm going almost down to the ground. So here's this movie actor, you know, supposed to be so fast. I blocked 2 of his punches. And now here he is trying to sneak one in at the head.